Alright children, we understood in the previous video the concept of production of AC, and we also understood the meaning of root mean square value of current and EMF, and we said that root means current is equal to I naught by root 2 and root means square value of EMF is E naught by root 2. Clear? These concepts we learned. These are very new concepts to you. Now we are going to discuss a term which is very new. There are a lot of new things in this chapter. Phases diagram. Phases diagram. Now what is phases diagram, children? We understood the meaning of phase and phase difference. You see, in case of DC, we understand that if you make the voltage double, then current will also become double for the same resistance under identical conditions. So we can say that voltage and current, they are increasing in the same phase. However, if you switch off the current, means if you switch off the voltage, then current will also be switched off. Or if you decrease the voltage, then current will also decrease. So we say that whether it is increased or whether it is decreased. When voltage is increasing, current is increasing. Voltage is decreasing, current is also decreasing. That's in case of DC. But in case of AC, we will see that many times voltage will be maximum and current will be minimum, or vice versa. Current is maximum and the voltage is minimum, right? Opposite. Means they will not grow together, they will also not decay together, or they will not increase together, they will not decrease together. So therefore, we use the concept of phases diagram. So phases diagram is basically a vector diagram which shows the phase difference between current and EMF. Suppose I have, so what is phases diagram? Current. So children, we have to understand this. Phases diagram is a diagram, generally it is a vector diagram showing phase difference between applied voltage and current. Because for obtaining current you need to apply a voltage, and then I said that current and voltage in case of AC are not always in the same phase, right? Suppose the diagram is shown like this. This is I and this is E and this angle is shown as phi. How will you read? See, phase of E is more than phase of I. So we will say E leads I by what angle? By angle phi. So E leads I by what angle? Phi. Because angle of E is more and angle of I is less. And what is the phase difference? Phi. You can also say I lags behind E. I lags behind E by phi. Now suppose the diagram is reversed. Suppose this is E and this is I, and this angle now is phi. So it is just the reversed case. So how will I read here? I leads E by what angle? Phi. So many times when you are doing various AC circuits, I will be using this concept of phase diagram, and that will be basically to show the phase difference between applied voltage and current in the circuit. Clear? Now once you have understood this, then children, we are going to do the first. One more thing I want you to understand, the average values. We will be using these average values very often. Average values. If you can't integrate, then use these average values. Average value of sine 2 omega t will be same as average value of cos 2 omega t, and this will be 0. Average value of sine 2 omega t or sine or cos 2 omega t will be 0. Similarly, average value of sine theta is also 0 and cos theta is also 0, because the change between plus 1 to minus 1, right? Similarly, average value of sine square omega t. So sine square omega t don't fear, omega t is just a theta. Average value of sine square theta will be same as average value of cos square theta, and this will be half. So I want you to remember these average values. Sine 2 omega t is 0 and sine square omega t is how much? Half. These average values will be very instrumental when we are doing power calculations in various AC circuits. Now you should be very excited because you are going to do the first AC circuit, and the simplest AC circuit will be the one in which an AC voltage is applied across a resistance. Okay, all right. So let's start this. Okay, children. Now, since you have understood this average values, it will be very helpful in calculation of average power. Now we are going to see the first AC circuit in which AC circuit containing only resistance. We are going to see an AC circuit, children, in which an AC source is applied across a single resistance. Now imagine like this. Resistance R is applied across this AC source. Here we have this AC source. And resistance of the resistor is how much of R. We have connected an AC source, and obviously this will have an EMF equals to E0 sin omega t. Okay, so let's write this. So children, let an AC source, AC voltage equals to E0 sin omega t is applied across this resistance R, and as the AC voltage will be connected, it will set up a current in the circuit. So current in the circuit is given by, current is given by, you know the basic formula for current, I equals to E by R, this is E naught by R sin omega t. Clear? And what is E naught by R? E naught is peak EMF. If peak voltage defined by resistance, we get what? Peak current. So I'll say E naught by R is equal to I naught. So we get from here I equals to I naught sin omega t. So when you look at these results 1 and 2, you come across a very interesting conclusion that they both are in the same phase. Okay, so there is no phase difference. Sin omega t, sin omega t. So we say hence voltage E and current I are in the same phase. Current voltage and current and voltage both in the what? Same phase. I can represent like this. This is I and this is E, and both having same phase, that is omega t. Graphically, if I have to see it, children, then here I have, this is your voltage, this is E naught, and this is minus E naught. Clear? Now current is in the same phase, so this will be current. Again here, so this is I naught and this is minus I naught. So being in the same phase means you can see when the voltage is maximum, current is maximum. When voltage is maximum, current is maximum. When voltage is zero, current is also zero. So they are in the same phase. So we conclude a very interesting result here, that in a purely resistive circuit, if an AC is applied, then behave like what? A DC circuit, in the sense that current and voltage, they both are in the same phase. Clear? Now we will try to calculate what will be the average power in a purely resistive circuit. Okay, average power. Average power in purely resistive circuit. Children, in this circuit we will calculate what will be average power. You have already done the formula for power. Power is equal to V into I. Power P is equal to V into I. In place of V, we are writing what? E. So you can say P is equal to E into I. E is how much here? E0 sin omega t. And I is how much here? I0 sin omega t. Clear? So we have E naught I naught together. Sin into sin is what? Sin square omega t. Right? So this is the power dissipated in a purely resistive AC circuit. Therefore, if I want to calculate, therefore, average power is P equals to average of E naught I naught sin square omega t. Now E naught I naught comes out, then we get average power equals to sin square omega t. And average power of sin square omega t is how much? Half. As you already said, this result is very handy. If I do not want to integrate, I can directly use this. Average value is perfectly acceptable. So average power is equal to, I can add PAV also, P naught, E naught I naught into half. Clear? So we come across a very interesting result here, that average power equals to E naught I naught by 2. If I compare power in a DC circuit, children, then point D circuit will be just what? E naught I naught or E into I. If I use E naught I naught, then you can see this result can be written as average power is equal to E naught by root 2 into I naught by root 2. Root 2 can be written, 2 can be written as root 2 into root 2, and E naught by root 2 is how much? ERMS. So average power can be written as ERMS, and then I naught by root 2 is what? IRMS. So this is a very interesting result. In case of a DC circuit, for example, I will be writing P is equal to V into I. Right? So V is same as here what? ERMS, and I same as IRMS. So from here, this gives more credibility to our discussion that RMS value is actually what? This TG values of current and EMF, right? And another interesting result here we get here, if I compare with P is equal to V into I, then you can see the power dissipated by a purely resistive circuit is half of E into I. So this is one advantage of using AC, that we can cut down the power loss. Clear? We can cut down the power loss if we are using AC across a purely resistive circuit. Okay? So we studied what is purely resistive circuit. The important features are that here current and voltage are in the same phase, and the power dissipated is half the power dissipated by a DC circuit, and its value is ERMS into IRMS. Okay, children? Now children, after we finished with AC circuit containing only resistance, we are going to see an AC circuit containing only inductance. Now this is very interesting result, because suppose what is flowing down a road or a canal, we need bridges to control it, right? Even a road has got what? Speed breakers to control the speed. Similarly, we have already done inductance. Inductor. What is an inductor? Inductor is a coil of zero resistance. So here we are talking about applying voltage, AC voltage to a circuit which has zero resistance. So the question is, how current can be stabilized without any resistance? Now this is a very key thing you have to understand here. So we have here inductor here. Inductance of the inductor is how much here? L. You already know what is L. We have discussed in electromagnetic induction. And here we are connecting a source of AC. Clear? So here we will say we are applying a source E equals to E naught sin omega t. If you do not want to write E, you can write V equals to V naught sin omega t. Basically the result will be same. So let, now children, Inductance is L and applied EMF is equal to E naught sin omega t. Now when you set up this voltage, a current will flow through the inductor and then it will have induced EMF, because you already know that alternating current produce what? A varying, it will set up a varying current. Varying current will set up a varying flux and therefore there will be induced EMF, right? So induced EMF E will be equal to L into di dt. We already know across the inductor. Put the value of E is E naught sin omega. Remember here we have used the same concept, is equal to L into di dt, that we use for self inductance actually. This is the self inductance concept that I am using out here. Clear? Magnitude of E is L into di dt. E equals to how much here? E naught sin omega t. So that becomes E naught sin omega t is called L into di dt. Now children, this result can be written as L into di is equal to E naught sin omega t dt, and you can also write I equals to E naught by L sin omega t dt. Clear? Once you got this result, what will you do? We will integrate both sides. We will integrate both sides. So if you integrate both sides, then di will be is equal to E naught by L integration of sin omega t dt. Clear? Or I equals to, children, E naught by L. If I am not from mathematics, then you should know that integration of sin omega t is minus cos omega t by omega. Clear? So I get here minus cos omega t by omega plus C. C is constant of integration. So you can write I equals to minus E naught by omega L cos omega t plus C. This is equation 2. Clear? Now the value of, if I put omega t is equal to 90 degree, then this part will become 0. Here we select value of C as 0. We select the value of constant of integration C as what? 0. And 0 will come with this value will be same as I. So if C is chosen as 0, then I becomes how much, children? Minus E naught by omega L cos omega t. Now this is a very important expression here, this term omega into L. Omega into L, you can see if you look at this circuit, by definition inductor is a coil of zero resistance, and if the resistance becomes zero, current will become how much? Infinite. So you see the circuit develops its own inertia, the circuit develops its own resistance, which is given by omega L, and this quantity omega L is very important for you to know. It is called inductive reactance. Inductive reactance, because we all wondered how current will be stabilized, because if the resistance will become 0, then current will be infinite. We need to stabilize the current. For stabilizing the current, we need a resistance, and you can see the circuit has developed its own resistance, that is omega into L, is called what? Inductive reactance. We don't use the word resistance, we use the word what? Reactance. It is denoted by XL subscript omega into L, and omega you know is 2 pi nu. When frequency is given, then this is XL. So this is result 3, this is result 4. So you came across a new term, that the inductor will develop its own resistance, which will be having value of omega into L, and it is denoted by XL. It is not X into L, it is XL subscript. Therefore I can say current I is equal to minus E naught by XL cos omega t. And children, maximum voltage by resistance will be what? Maximum current. So I can also say I equals to minus I naught cos omega t. Now this is another interesting result. This is equation 5. Clear? So we conclude that if applied voltage is equals to E naught sin omega t, then the current in the circuit is I equals to I naught minus I naught cos omega t. Now this result is very important and interesting when we will study phase relation between applied voltage and current. Okay, so we will still be seeing, children, what is the phase relation between applied voltage and current in the circuit. Okay, let's see. Now children, we will be seeing phasors diagram for this. It will become very interesting for us to see what exactly the phase relation between applied voltage and current in the circuit. See, E becomes E naught sin omega t. This was equation 1, and I becomes minus I naught cos omega t. This becomes 5. Obviously, they both are not in the same phase. There appears to be phase difference of 90, right? Because one is sin, the other is cos. Sin 90 minus theta is equal to cos theta, or cos 90 minus theta is equal to sin theta. But you have to exactly see which is leading and which is lagging. And for understanding this, children, from equation 5 I can say I is equal to I naught into minus cos omega t, and cos theta is equal to how much? Sin 90 minus theta. So you can say here I equals to I naught sin 90 minus omega t. Now if you take this minus term inside, then you get I equals to I naught sin omega t minus 90 degree. This is equation 6. So these two equations clearly reveal the phase relationship. What is the phase here? Omega t. And what is the phase here? Omega t minus 90. So this becomes very interesting. That means current is 90 degree behind the applied voltage, because here phase is omega t and here it is omega t minus 90. If I plot it, then this is E and this is I. E is having what phase? Omega t. And I is having what phase? Omega t minus 90. So this is the phase difference between them. And how much is this? 90 degree. So we come across a very interesting result, and you'll bear in mind that if I have a purely inductive circuit, you have a purely inductive circuit here, then in this circuit voltage is leading current by 90 degree. Okay, hence in a purely inductive circuit, voltage leads current by a right angle. Clear? Now once you understand this concept, we will calculate what is the average power dissipated. And two things very important to understand. One, the circuit will develop its own resistance, which is called inductive reactance. XL is equal to omega in 12. And the second thing is that voltage is leading current by how much? 90 degree. Clear? Now we will try to calculate what is average power in purely inductive circuit. Average power in purely inductive circuit. What is average power dissipated in a purely inductive circuit? Now this will be another very interesting result. While you discuss this, keep in mind that current and voltage are maintaining a phase difference of 90 degree. Clear? Children, P is equal to how much? V into I, which will be E into I. Clear? P is equal to E is how much? E naught sin omega t, and I is minus I naught cos omega t. So you can write P is equal to E naught I naught minus sin omega t cos omega t. We can multiply and divide by 2. So P becomes E naught I naught by 2 into minus 2 sin omega t cos omega t. And 2 sin theta cos theta is how much here? Sin 2 theta. So P becomes minus E naught I naught by 2 sin 2 omega t. And children, if I take average of this, then average power is minus E naught I naught by 2 times average of sin 2 omega t. And you've already done that average of sin 2 omega t is how much you have? 0. So if I use this, but average of sin 2 omega t is equal to how much you have? 0. So average power will be how much you have? 0. Now this is a very interesting result, that average power in this circuit will be how much here? 0. Means if I have this circuit and apply an AC across this, it will not consume any power, it will not be causing any power loss, it will not be heated up at all, and therefore it becomes an ideal circuit. Clear? But you understand that this circuit cannot be used for driving machines, because whenever you drive a machine you do mechanical work, and if you do mechanical work you have to dissipate power. But this is an ideal circuit, it will not cause any power loss, and therefore the current in the circuit is called wattless current. We have a new term for you, wattless current. So what is wattless current, children? Wattless current is the current which maintains a phase difference of pi by 2 with respect to the applied voltage. You can see here the phase difference between applied voltage and current is how much you have? Pi by 2 or 90 degree. So if the phase difference between applied voltage and current is 90 degree, then the current is known as wattless current. Clear? And graphically, if you have to show the variation of inductive reactance with respect to frequency, then this is going to be a straight line. Keep this also in mind. Clear? If you have a DC, for a DC frequency is how much you have? 0. For DC frequency 0, so value of X will be how much? 0 for DC. So these are important terms. So you understood what is wattless current. If the phase difference between current and applied voltage is 90 degree, then the current is called wattless current. And why we call it wattless current? Because it does not cause any power loss. Okay. Thank you.